recording.
Alright, first of all, I want to thank all of you for coming to my it's okay, to my tribute speech. And what we're going to talk about tonight is somebody that made a difference in my life. I knew this was going to happen because of today. I hope I can even get through this.
You can. You can.
All of us have somebody that has made a huge difference in our lives. Somebody who, without that person next to us, wouldn't be who we are today. And for me, it wasn't until I had my own children that I realized who that person was, and that person is my mom.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
My mom is Joanne Mack, who was born in Minnesota on April 15th. We don't know the exact year. We don't even ask me. But she was raised in Wisconsin. After she was born in Minnesota, they moved to Wisconsin, where she pretty much helped raise her only sister, Sharon. And by the time my mom was 14, was getting married. And for most of us, going to school is what you think about at 14, not getting married. But back in those days, that was more common. My mom had her first baby at 15, and then another one at 16. By the time she was 18, had already been divorced, sadly enough. But to my benefit, because she married my father. At 19, my mom married my father, who had forged his birth certificate because he was just 17. So we're talking about kids, having kids. All the memories that teenage girls get with the prom and high school and dating, my mom missed out on. Because she was raising her own family. Her and my father had 3 children. And my 2 younger sisters were identical twins, and by the time they were born, they were each 1 pound and one weighed 2 pounds. And so we ended up losing my little sister. They had originally had 5 children altogether, but we ended up with 4. And my mom worked full-time, never saw her without a smile on her face. She'd always come home. And I remember one of us kids was always sticking our hand out, "Where's your money? Where's your tips?" She worked as a hairdresser and at different types of factories when we were growing up. Until eventually she got enough of her own experience to have her own business, which is a very well-established hair salon in Morrilton, and has made a name for herself through her own business. And I think maybe 7th grade was the last grade that she actually got to. 9th grade was actually what she got to go through.
No, I didn't go through it.
Just part of it.
Yeah.
With the business that she made and all the things that she went through, my father ended up leaving her, filing for divorce after approximately 34 years of marriage. And I never once saw my parents argue. Even if she was sad, you would have never known, because my mom kept everything inside and tried to make our kids, brothers and sisters, all have a nice, happy life growing up. She made it through that. Never saw her with very seldom ever cried about it. Just held up strong and listened to a lot of music on the way to school. Would have good songs that all the kids remembered was the divorce songs. Finally made it through that, and then she had to battle cancer herself, along with, it's like everybody in our family got hit with cancer. We couldn't even be there for my mom because my sister was going through it in California, so she was focused on herself. I was going through it with my son, and here my mom was going through breast cancer, and we couldn't even be there to support her. But never ever saw her without a smile, never complained about it. My mom just kept going. Everybody made it through the cancer part, and it wasn't until recently when my own children started having problems and I realized just exactly what it takes to be a parent that I learned to appreciate everything she's done for me and sacrificed so that we could have a good life. And I know I'm not supposed to cry, but it's just, I have a good mom, and without her, we would have nothing. None of us would be anywhere today had it not been for my mom. So I'd like to introduce everybody to my mom, Joanne Mack.
Thank you.
I hope it was long enough. Make sure it's off.